Any questions? You want to come back?
So object of the mind and the object of recognition, right? So for object of the mind, the emptiness, the object of the mind, right?
Object of mind is the emptiness.
Emptiness, right?
Okay.
So object of recognition is awareness, right?
Object of cognition.
It's
Cognition
awareness.
is aware. Okay.
Awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
But the base for awareness is the mind, right? Because I was trying to understand. The reason why I give you the example for cause and effect is because I was trying to understand the base for which they call it recognition, which is awareness. I think it's awareness, like.
Okay.
And then, like, because the emptiness for the object of the mind is emptiness, and the object of recognition is awareness, right?
Okay.
I think the question is, what is the basis for valid
Yeah.
cognition?
Yeah. What's the
What
exactly?
is the basis for valid
recognition?
Oh, okay. And this is a penetration. Loi shejadila. 아니 동반이 base. 아니 세 명이 시작이라 아니 쉐바레스 쉐바스라다 제 어디 쉐바디나 아니 딜레야 아니 그 시디 할레스
체메시에 추탐제 체메시에 체메시절에
최탐지 세미 시절로 시디레야 페네세션 어디서 오르면 페네세션디 다사기 유저 다다 유디 할레스 근데 좀 쓰고 다 유디 하려 샤워했어요 페네세션디 가서디 대신 당하죠 그 대신디 샤워와 어디다 오지 피치 고유를 소리지
당시대
닥시소리 너무 닥시소리
당시세 때다 뭐 정말 뭐야 간사기 뜻이 풍부마샤 풍부가 버티는 때니 간사 스토리야
so the
단단만에 우리 당시대 두배 초반에 예배 되게듯이 말했더니 뒤발했더니 또 지차버 얘는 소버디 나래 뒤에 이유로 간거 우리 당시에
Okay, so the object of the valid cognition in general, which mentioned that every that exists will be object of the valid cognition, right? Okay, listen, now you specify, like if you pick as a person, so then what is the best of the person? If you say that, what is the best of the person, so that would be five aggregates, okay? And if you say what is the basis of vase, so that it has like lots of parts and particles on it, and that basis on that, so then you see vase.
모태 당시대도 모태 연하도스 모태 당시대 뒤에 초인들이지 모태 스토리야
So
신대
similar like,
연하들이 신대 콜로라서 시험이가
similar like car, you say car, so then the all the parts and particles of the car will be the basis for the car, and then the chariot, right? And the same thing, all the basis for all the wheels and all these parts will be the basis for the chariot.
So what's the
아니
opposite?
르셰절은 동이 백천 말이 르샤바 또 버는 동이 또 보면 들어보듯이 또 누구리 동데 르셰절 동이 백천 말이
Okay, now that is
르샤바 또 버라
so okay now this,
르셰절다 르샤바 체크하라
okay. Now there's one clarification for the other one. So the if it is object of the mind, it doesn't have to be emptiness. Many conventional objects, right? But in order to know, in order to know all the object is mentally imputed, so object of minds. In other words, object of mind. In order to know that, then you need to see emptiness.
체면写着的체면 샤베 체크하라
So like let's say Cheme Sheja means the object of the valid cognition and no, mind, okay. The Cheme Sheja is Chema So okay, now this is again another clarification is this. The object of valid cognition, right? The object of valid cognition, when you say that, so then you can put all phenomena in it, right? So then then this is another one. Then the Sheja Shaba means, so then like the perceiving, okay, perceiving by the valid cognition an object. This different, something like different. Okay, now switch back to mind. Okay, mind. The le shapada slavrada. Le shapada. Sheja. Okay. Le sheja means object of mind. Okay, this is easy. All things, all phenomena, right? Lo shapa means it's shapa. Sometimes they translate as imputed, right? Anyway, so here means like lo shapa means mind, the way in which mind perceives things, sort of like things. Okay, so that will be different. Lo shapa ni kahay mo res, right? So Rinpoche actually read from the passage from the book. Anyway, so that means when ordinary beings looking at the illusory animals, so then the illusory animals, when they see that image, so then they cannot make, they see all things, the animal appearance, animal as truly exist, but they don't see the empty nature of that animal, the illusory animal. Okay? So then, as a magician, so sees that, has that truly existing appearance of truly existence, but they understand the empty nature of the thing. Okay? So then, from the magician point of perspective, from the perspective point of view, from the magician understands the artificial truth that appears to the ordinary or the audience. Here it says audience. The image of artificial image is being displayed to the audience. Okay.
다 되지.
And that means the audience itself, it didn't see the artificial nature of the thing.
다 되네. 숨바 배 되는 차라스. 단지 이마케 되라 배 되래 숨이바 배 되라 이마케 지지. 데모가 지지. 니 말에 가서 숨이바. 다 되네. 지 되는 차라인데 그게 데모와 미래버 신도스. 그게 데모디 데모와 미래버 신도 선제 탐제 지나게 출 탐제 덴바리요 나야나 너는 나의 샤바미가 최 뒷남지 유시 이어버 지만이 토마 매번에 슈베 생기게 된다 되는데라 그게 데모와 지바 데모와디 데모와 그래서 데모와를 봐 그게 데모와서 데모 다니디바 이메 미래버 신도디 맞아기 미래버 봐 디신도 선제 탐제 지나기 최 뒷남 덴바리 유려봐 나와디 로라 최배 온 샤베 네베 최 뒷남 유루 여바 짐바티 토마 네베 최배 바제 온 중앙에 다지 데모와 디다 아니 돈이 맞도베 도만이 가사니 되려자 돈이 가사들에 이 덴바트 받는 게 봐. 이 덴바트 받는 것이 가리에서는 토마메베 추베 바자기 슈베 생기기로 이노스 토마메베 슈베 생기기로 된지노스 디규지 된지디
So then, page number 95, it falls underline the applying the example to the meaning. Okay. So when external and internal phenomena appears as truly exist, sentient beings, like the audience of the magic who sees, are affected by the mantra cast by the magician, conceive that the mood of that they conceive mood of substance. Right, this is substance. Subsistence. Okay, subsistence of the phenomena that is not posited by the force of an awareness of mind, or the awareness exists. Okay? So this conception is innate conception of the true existence, which has already beginninglessly. So that means the audience, so who has actually affected their eyes with this mantra and so on. So when they see the illusory horse and stuff, so then they think that is out there without any without putting out sort of like the mind mind perception, so like mind perception. Okay, This is like out there independently, okay, independent by itself, sort of like by itself, not actually projected by the mind. Okay, this is the meaning. So this kind of thing is, has that kind of wrong idea or understanding to entire sentient beings. So that wrong idea or the misconception is like here it says that kind of misconception is called innate conception of the true existence, okay, which has operated from the beginning, which is with us from the beginning last time.
다른 랑기베 디토마메베네 주변 바제 주변 중에 딘딘 행기리 있으면 디 딘딘 행기디 랑기베 데다 샤바디 땡기베 가자는 때는 신 라바리스 랑기베기 디 딘딘 행기 인세요 딘딘 행기디 땡기발을 때는 디 딘딘 라바리스 나 차례 딘딘 행기 말이 그런 딘딘 행기 있어야 돼. 이 딘딘 군다로 소리치게. 랑기베 딘딘 행기 있어야 돼. 뭐 되게 말을 때는 딘딘 참 말이 라빠지래.
So then what the Satrantika posits this way is very close relative to the Prasangika, Prasangika apprehension of the object of negation. Okay? Hence this is not the inner subtle conception of true existence. That means like, so they said that is not that kind of the misconception. Conception is, they said this is the subtle kind of thing according to Satrantika view, right? But according to Prasangika, it said that is not the most subtle one. Yeah, that is not the most subtle one. That is a grosser one, sort of like. That means that is grosser one because that is acquired, mistaken view. Denzi Kunda. Denzi Kunda means like acquired conception of true existence. It's not the subtle one. In another word, this is not the subtle kind of the self-grasping.
다들네 다 남시 랑규베 덴진행기 인시하기 덴지티기 덴지티 수메 덴두 리베케바나 아니 정말 ken신도 지나기 주는 르 온기 마샤베 르 온기 마샤베 뒤로 예바티 징마리스
여기 되는
징마라 르 온기 샤베 예바탄 시베 예바탄 시그리 시베 르 온기 샤베 예바탄 시그리 티니야 땡규베 류기 가제디 케야마.
So then the text goes on, the last paragraph. When the true existence apprehended by the conception of the true existence is refuted through reasonings, one like the magician, right? Magician. So they actually refute that the subtle, self-grasping, right? Does not convince of the external internal phenomena as having a mode of subsistence. And, okay, so that means, so according to Prasangika Madhyamika, okay, so it said they also Satrantika Madhyamika, they also accept things has to be merely projected. Okay, so the projection, projected. It's projected, right? Projected. But that itself is not enough for not enough for the Satrantika view. Just abandoning that is not actually enough for Satrantika view. So yes.
That is any leong shabe yobatam shigri mishuji 아랑은에 매버지 시기에 말아. 르 파다점 시기에 말아. 르 온기 샤베 유바점 시.
So then,
또왜 파다점 세티 신기야마 is.
so this according to the Satrantika Madhyamika, okay, so they can assert, sort of like assert, things are mental projection, okay, projection, but they cannot possess or posit or the assert that things are merely mental projection.
다들 tenjuvelule leung shabatang ne tobeung shaltang ile chebayu. Didi leung shabati tobatita rangibe tawati kiksone leung shabato gudi. Ine tobe patatam tobe patatam yabati tobiyamai.
So according to Prasangika Madhyamika, so even though if you're able to accept or assert things are mentally projected, but it's not necessary you have to understand that things are merely mental projection. Okay? So then if you say the mental projection, the merely mental projections are the same, so then there's no differences between the Satrantika view and the Prasangika view.
다디 leung shabato bariti tenjuvelule leung shana tenjuvelule 다디 rangivelule leung shabato tosuni hiki kejangi mwene matubati kebugerba 가제 탐머리 지키기를 했어요. 다 tenjuvelule leung shabat tosan 디 라문에 두고 케고 말이스 라문에 두고 케고 가르 또 배운 샤던 장르디기 랑군에 두고 지제.
So according to the Madhyamika Prasangika, okay, Prasangika Madhyamika, so it said that if you able to say the things are mental projections, okay, mental projection, it is not necessary that you have to understand this the object, or the object is empty of external existence. Yeah? So for in order to understand that, so you need to use merely mental projections. If you said that, merely actually cuts off the possibility existing from the external side. Yeah? So in the Satrantika Madhyamika, so they said things are mentally projected. So that means like their notion of understanding is when they say things are mentally projected, that means that things are mentally projected. That means that the things are not actually or exist only from the external side, on the objective side.
르옹기 샤바라 아니 지단 요구 말이죠. 세면 론르번 내버지기 샤서는 요구리스. 르옹기 간샤라 르샤우테 요구 말이스. 그래보라다. 데 버주버티 르옹 샤바이. 데지기 샤바라. 르옹기 간샤라 이베쳐 말이스. 로 never learn shasana yoku.
Okay.
Rangivelule learn shasa lola yoku yamai. Any tempatuvati learn shaparis. Remorati shaparis, learn shaparis. Remoranti topagi, remoranti giarba. Remoranti topagi shatan. 제선도
세마기 샤워 신고를 나와. 가리 로양
never maybe leung shabala yoku
never made a long time.
도두가 대야 체매 메뉴를 leung shana 타니도 yoku please 대야 체매 메뉴를 leung 샤바남 타니도 예반 되지 르 르온게 가샤 탐제 타니도 예반 되도 던지 고갔다가
Convention exists. However, everything. Okay, here. Moreover, in the same paragraph. Moreover, those phenomena posed through the force and awareness not damaged by the valid cognitions are asserted as conventionally exist. Okay. However, everything was posited through the force of an awareness is not asserted as existing conventionally. Okay. So that means like whatever you project, the perceive, sort of like perceive, is not necessarily existing phenomena. So for instance, the classic example for that is like the rabbit horn. So rabbit horn. Okay. So rabbit horn. So when someone perceives sort of like a rabbit horn, so that is actually due to their self-grasping. Self-grasping actually force someone to see rabbit horn, but that is not real, not true, right? Not exist, sort of like not exist. But then how you assert whether this is exists or not through your the mind. So then you need a law never never. Law never never means here they use it that awareness should not be damaged or damaged by valid cognition. Okay. It's not yes. An awareness, it needs to be an awareness that is not damaged by the valid cognition.
이네 아니고 그런 거네 사변이 깨웠지 이게 말이에요 그런 거네 사변이 깨워레스 사변이 누구 깨워지려 온 게 샤바리 누구랑은 해서 사변이 깨웠지 땡큐벨로라 누구랑은 해서 사변이 깨웠지 매바 이네만 자체 랑기데 로라 로 샤바다랑은 부분이 좋지고 있죠. 다지 베디드네 베디데 사벨이 누구지 샤자 누구랑 랑은 사벨이 죠 민게원이 주시 면에 다나도 나왔던 자스 주시 면에 주시디 주시니 접지나 주시 면에 다나도 나와요. nga te mi le ba ta ba la ti ni pha nga te mi nga te ju shi te pha ta bi de ni ju shi te ta na tu na wa ju shi ku me ne ta na tu na ni ya de si ani le on di ta na tu na wa sha ba de
So now, according to this Satrantika Madhyamika, so then text goes on, 95 page, last paragraph. Although the production of a sprout from the seed is possessed through the force of an awareness, okay, okay, this is actually also mental projection. That means mind projection. Okay, so it is not contradict that the sprout also is produced from the seed from its own side. Okay, so that means like there is some things that happening from the seed side, the objective side, right? So then that is like this is according to the Satrantika Madhyamika. Okay, this is like the fact that there is an appearance as a horse and elephant even from the side of the basis of the conjuring, right? Yeah. It is the type of word, okay, trick. Through that, all conventional existent phenomena are to be understood. That means that when they see the horse, So then the magician actually put a spell on the wood, a piece of wood, or trick is a piece of wood, right? But the appearance of this horse or animals is actually coming from that basis, a piece of wood, this twig, that piece of wood. There is something from the objective side.
그래서 다티지 대 단위도 이거 당장 시작했죠. 단위도 이거 당장 유기문에 들어가다를 뭔가 시작이 좋지 미쳤어.
So
단위도
then,
이거나 유기문에 들어가다를 시작이 좋지. 단위도 매봐라 유기문에 들어가디야 말. 그날 보라티 그런 게 시작을. 이미야 유기문에 들어가다 말봐. 그래서 내시. 그 단위도 얘가 지는 레옹기 샤바다 유기문에 두니 도지고 그래서
so then through that all conventionality exists, phenomena are to be understood. So that means so the even though it says everything is mental projection or projection here, and according to this school, projection, so but there needs to be something from the objective side. Otherwise, so then they need to say that the rabbit with horns or the horn exists, because that is nothing from the, this is not true, and that object is nothing exists from the objective side at all.
어디서 다 중이잖아 강라 나를 샤바리 중이디 동문이디 랑 강라 나를 샤바리 네 단위도 이어봐 줘봐 맞춰봐 메노스 롱기 샤바세디 단위도 이제로 맞춰봐 말이 켜그리 동이디 랑 강라 롱기 샤바리
So, or then the text continues on 96, page 96, second paragraph, right? Even reality or the emptiness, right? Even reality is posited as existing through the force of an awareness, so which is appear, hence it is not an exception to being posited as conventionally exist. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, so that means so the emptiness or the reality nature of things, right? So these are also conventionally exist because it needs to, there is a mind that actually projects this.
다들이 롱기 샤발라 예배 맞췄다 가르샤스.
So if something long shabola has a long
롱기 샤는 예배 맞췄어.
okay, very much long shana.
처만 내가 롱기 샤스 요구리 쳐봐. 롱기 가샤를 예배 쳐 말이죠.
So if something project in mentally and which is also not existent, so what example could be for that portion? What example you could give for that?
롱기 샤바티 예배다 매번이와.
So like mentally projected, right? Mental projections, right? Mental projection. There are two kinds of mental projections. One that is exist, one that is not exist. So what example could be for the something that is not exist? Unicorn. Unicorn, where it come from? Lemon rasa. Yes.
다르버라티 롱기 샤스가.
Okay, now I'm just going to debate. Okay. Okay.
로티 로버라 조직 로티 셔.
So what is the mind that actually perceives the rabbit with horn?
We're saying a horse with a horn. That's what a unicorn is.
Yeah.
It's a diluted.
What mind it could be? Twenjik didishasa. Twenjik shasa. Twenjik.
가르 진실로 말해.
Twenjik is not mind. Twenjik is in English. What's it? Conception.
따버리지.
What's it? Conception. Mental picture. Sometimes they call mental picture. Yes. Conception, right? Conception. Conception. Yes.
Is it incorrect awareness?
And the has a the reverse has a lope the tema de la yama the lope
로치 샤바.
lo milu the lo
로벨로지 샤버바 로벨로디 가리샤스
Okay, incorrect mind is fine. What kind of incorrect mind?
Attachment, invalid.
Attachment.
Invalid.
야 어느 템바 투바디 로벨 롱 샤버바
So then the
아 템바 롱 샤니 이번 뭐지 딘루 쿠란 샤주 다 딘루 롱 샤세 글로티샤
so let's shift to the another topic. Let's say self-existent, right?
We like them.
Self-existent. Okay, self-existent.
Innate.
So that is actually a mental. This is mental projection.
Right,
Right? That does not exist, right?
right.
So what is the mind that actually perceives that?
Body cognition. Body
Innate.
cognition.
Huh?
Body cognition.
Innate.
Body cognition.
야 다그
Mind, for me, it's mind that wants to project.
Wants to
Like-
project.
It's attached to fantasy. You want to fantasize. So you want the mental picture that seems like attractive or attract.
Are you still talking about the rabbit with the horn, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even a car. Let's say car. There's a difference between the car and my car. That's how I differentiate. Is that the same thing? The car is valid cognition, but my car is not, because it's not everyone else's car.
Oh, that's interesting.
Same as the horn.
Correct this is some of the chakta the diglere or the pen a better jishaba in a place, the benefit. Motor by Jira, data, near motor by Jira, motor like the current the color, semi motor, near motor say Jira, the semi the color, lock shape, rest. The plane.
말이지 상계 중대들 내 추구시야들이 내 무시시야들이 내 추구 내 모자시야지 로든지야리.
So when you say my car, my possession, it could be valid. Yeah. So for instance, Buddha will say like that is my monk's robe, which is sugar. Right? The sugar.
Ah.
That is my ball. Right? Right? He will say that.
아 나이 뒤자
And my disciple.
나이 두다 야리
My
상계 템바 나이 템바 어 두시야리 이제 나 세비장자라 직대인 구비야 말이야.
So then if you say something my and something belongs to me, it's not necessary. It is actually due to the what you call due to jikta, the perishable object, because of that kind of view. What was that?
View of the perishable collection.
What?
View of the perishable
View
collection.
of perishable collection. Yes. It
아
doesn't have to
다른데
be, because of that.
저지글로 샤투면서 딘지 코란 샤브를 봐. 딘지 되게 템바투가 짐바이.
So the answer will be like, so the self-grasping mind, right? So self-grasping.
레버란지 똑바티기 레버란지 똑바티기 레버란지 똑바티기 샤바이. 샤바스는 그 짐바리. 레버라티 딩이길로 티카리샤스는 레버란지 똑바티 샤바.
So the
딘루티 딩이길로 티카리샤스는 딘지 샤브르바. 제사 딘지 티기 딘루티 샤바이 예스.
so then
그짐 셰우드 큰 딘야 다가라네.
for the self-grasping, I mean like it's a truly existing thing. So that is actually projected by self-grasping mind, right? Self-grasping thought, and then for the rabbit with the horn is a mind that sees, rabbit of the horn, right? The object of that mind.
It's invalid.
I don't know.
I think it's kind of like body cognition, cognizer, because when
It is valid cognition.
Yeah, because
Rabbit. You're using rabbit.
Yeah, because
Rabbit with horn, okay.
yes. Because when the Buddha sees things, he sees ugly stuff. based on our body recognition, we see beautiful stuff. But the Buddha sees ugly stuff.
Okay.
He's using the body recognition to see ugly stuff,
Okay.
and we use body recognition to see beautiful stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's body recognition.
Which one is valid cognition?
Like when we see I'm talking about the question you're asking, when you see the horn of a rabbit,
Okay.
you use body recognition to see that.
Oh, you were saying that is a valid cognition?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So the a mind that sees rabbit with like a rabbit with horn is the valid cognition.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the reverence the logic or the lo tunjuresa.
그래. 네, 사티 야리 메시나 레분간 레분콜라 라켓에 버렸더니 아지 이마 빠르더니 땡하더가 아띠리
Maybe he's just joking. Maybe you are referring to there are some pictures, humoring around with rabbit with horns. Maybe you're referring to that rabbit with the horn.
그랬더니 그 말이 그리고 암조리 무야르바 주로 판에 따인데 그게 라지 두 삼년 지야리 그 암조디 린부여사다 그게 신제비고라 라도 삼사지 유리 장을 무네 다니지기 와다디 디코레고 그 암조디 라르지 머바 이코 야마리 디메비여사 디트시르바
So that is not a valid mind because they get confused with his rabbit's ears and horn. When they see a rabbit from far away, so they can get confused. They think they will the rabbit with horn because they see the 8 ears of the rabbit.
What kind of?
So if the Buddha sees things as ugly, on the side of the Buddha, but as we see as beautiful, using the body mind is the same thing.
Okay, so this is another question. Another question.
I'm talking
So
about,
you were saying okay,
I'm talking about Buddha when he sees things, he sees them as ugly, right?
ugly. Okay,
But as we see, using a body cognition, we see things as beautiful,
okay.
right? So I'm comparing that question to the other one. To
The
the
one
horns.
with the rabbit and the horn.
Yeah, I'm comparing it to the way the Buddha sees it. When he uses wisdom, he sees that as we see things as we see things as beautiful when they're ugly. Using body recognition mind, you see that using our body recognition mind, we see things as beautiful. But when Buddha sees our
Okay.
mind using body recognition, still see things as ugly.
Okay.
So what's the difference?
What's different? What's the difference between?
Between seeing the things a rabbit with horns,
Okay.
and the Buddha seeing our mind seeing things as ugly.
Or what's between these two things?
Yeah.
Okay. According to this, 가서 만족이 있다. 즉 닝지부래, 즉 야부래, 즉 닝지부래 세 통보라. 다디 세마 든지레스 라로와. 세마
내가
든지레스.
든두다 든마두 내가 야리
내가 사찰도 있다. 근데 좀
나란도 이 집을 통역한 거는 이 집을 인백해요. 근데 주마창기 비밀이 집을 지대면이나 이 비밀이 이 집을 말고 이야 신뢰지.
So anyway, so let me finish your question, your answer. We kept your first statement. You said when we see beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful, which is true, sort of like true,
That's to us.
right? For us, right? But when we see things, sometimes it could be true, sometimes it could be false, mistaken. Okay? So like when we see illusory, beautiful image of the beautiful, so Mr. giving an example of a beautiful woman, so then that is fake. It's not true.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
때 디우싱디 비밀 대매질 줄이나 그때 비밀이 집부터 디우싱들 되어라. 그제 붙이다 양 말이다.
That is, when we look at that image, the beautiful woman, the magical kind, illusory kind of beautiful woman, but that is not beautiful at all. There's no beauty at all. There's not such a thing beauty in it, in that object.
But by recognition says it's beautiful though.
I don't know it's valid cognition.
That's opinion.
얘네 들 생기나 그 통해 등모스 통고를 물을 통고를 인지를 해서 삼친 거 알았어.
제인 주고.
You can think
제나
about it.
능이 집이 제나 국민 집이 인구야 말봐.
Yeah, you can think about it. You can think that it's as beautiful. It not necessarily is beautiful.
어때래? 다들 되겠다. 야. 다되나? 주마다난 두나야. 대동버신도. 분소 탐제 분소 두나야. 분소도 동하다. 주마다난 두나야. 주마다난 두나야. 다난 동하디. 베디 그바 잡으랬으나 안했다. 분바디 분바를 나야. 분바를 맞추게 빼들. 샤 두시에 말이 제베. 단데 빼고야디 주메 따난디 따난도 나와래디 따난도 맞추고 나시 아니 분바디 랑게 친이 주고 나야 랑게 친이 맞추고 파자고래 말 분바디 템벌 나야 템벌 맞추고 더 자야디 분바디 템벌 맞추고 템벌 주고 나야 템벌 맞추고 별 파자고래 이 맞아버지 아니 주마이 킹이 따나도 나야 따나도 맞추고 디신도 분바디 분바나야 분바디 맞추고래 빼자고 그래서는 디저교야 말이지 분바디 분바를 나야 분바디 주가르바 디데 빨리 파자교야 말이지 다디 분바디 템벌 나야 템벌 맞추고 자고래 맞지
So then, therefore, the significance they apply in the example, okay, and magician's illusion to the meaning. Okay, now it's applying to the actual thing, like the meaning. Okay, other phenomena is not at all just as magician illusion appears to be a horse or elephant, but it is empty of being such. Okay, this is the main thing, and all phenomena such as parts appears to be parts, but so forth, but are empty of being parts. Okay. So then when we use these analogies with the actual thing, so let's say the magician or this horse and everything, right? Horse and everything. These are like a part in conventional phenomena like part and so on, right? But we should not take that as the illusion is the object that is not being in that object, right? The horse, illusory horse and illusory elephant is not being actual the illusory actual horse and the elephant. We should not take that example as like that. Okay? If you take that example if you apply that kind of example to the actual thing, then you mean you're saying like when we appear of a vase, so that vase is not a vase. Okay, this is not example how we take. So we take example. This should be the example we should take. Like when we see this elephant, illusory elephant, and the horse, right? But there appears to us as real, real horse and things, but they are not truly exist. Okay, truly exist. Similar like that, the parts and all these objects appears to us, but they are not truly exist. Lack of truly existence. So we should take that examples like in that way. Here in the text it says empty of being such, right?
number method she Javana Timur Nina Tamje Nyavashivani Nigmaleva Nasinigata Ta Tungi Lenyambashavi Shi Jerva Nyamsha number में तो भी इसी से ना दुनिया में सुन तो भी इसी थे शेयर जे दुनिया में सुन तो भी इसी थे क्या बना अरे तेना यामा तेसी निका मैं बच्चे तंग तमो मी मारे पे तमो निकती पेचा मी मारे पे तमो मतलब कि मैं ताए नहीं मारे जो मैं तारे शेंबा है यामा दिनाशी नंबर में तो भी इसी लगे पे कंसाती तीनों नवा यामा तीनों शेंबा है यामा तीनों मैं बच्चे मी मारे पे तमो तो पेचा पेचाया तीरे
So then the text goes on. Question number 96, 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph. When the non-conceptual exalt wisdom of meditative equipoise is generated, this is like a deep meditative absorption. Right? In that perspective, all dualistic appearances are extinguished. Okay, this is like one whose eyes, not having been affected by the magician mantras, have neither illusion, appearance or the adherence to it. Anyway, so when they enter into that kind of deep absorption meditation, that kind of meditation, so then they do not have both. There's no appearances and there's no adherence, right? Adherence. Okay.
That and the capsule. उमरंगी वे लोग की यानी लोग की क्षेत्र में जो मशीन दो तंदर वो ने रंगी वे रिपेयर को जो तुम मई बती तुम के हमारे अब वो ती वो ने माँ थैंक यू वे यानी रिपेयर तेरे थैंक यू वे यानी गाजा को जो शेयर
The massive.
ती वो ने माँ
The one was.
जैसा धंधा देखकर सु रंगी बेरी बेंगु जो तुम मई बती वो नेतुन बे होने तुंगी हमारे धीरे धीरे लोग की क्षेत्र में की मतलब छाजून दर्द शेवरे इस धंधे देखकर तुम्हारे के पे तेने उम्र रंगी बे लोग की तुम मई बे क्षेत्र में जो मशीन तजुदी दिशा को याद कर रहे हैं वो नहीं शेतु संबंध थिंक में लोग नहीं तंतु की मतलब नंचु दिशा में ऐसे थी वो नहीं दिशा के में रंग भी लोग दिशा में ऐसे नहीं है रंग भी लोग तो दिशा है तेरे
The was the Thara one massive or then Chemasi.
वो दिन में थिंक में तो दिशा है जैसे
Okay. So there's no indication later in Chandrakirti's text of Subtrantika uncommon mode of refutation of the true existence by reasoning. Therefore, let us express, briefly and in words easy to understand, how in this system all phenomena are caused and appear as like illusion. So here, whatever we use this example or we went through this kind of discussion and everything, this is only talking about how the Subtrantika Madhyamika believes. Okay? And in the actual text, subsequently or later, sort of like later, so we are going to talk only the view of the Prasangika Madhyamika.
That is Kola Junasta Kola Junata, the Rangi Beluki, Tati Tawadi, Tutu Kola Juna, Kola Junajibri, Shejala Mover, you mean Kaja Chis. Shejala Mover, you but the Mover never near. Tabata Mobini Aya.
No.
Shejala Mobri Ministry. Shejangashi Nikula Subatu Mobayarva. Nagala Subatu Tabarva. Taba. Nisu Kaji Chus. Chebe. Tambo Mobri Shenas. Tatambuti Mobut Shenajel.
So okay, this is sort of like straightforward in English 96. So object of knowledge, that means sheja, okay, sheja. And object of knowledge are exclusively divided into two, okay, functioning, or in other words, the things, noble, okay, and then non-functioning things, okay, or impermanent or permanent phenomena. That means like that. So then let's explain with respect of the things first, functioning things first.
Tine sula sheni ngobe nale su ta ti ru ti ge yarba sula shenas sujela shala su ne chogi chame dang shebala dui ngaji chame gaba she shene sheba tar chalas ngobola chaje gi chaba dus tatire sujela shala su be ta sujite 차제리스 수지들라 수들라 샤르이베 차제 왜냐 수디나 들이야 샤르이베 차제 누르이 소르이베 차제 누르이베 차제 장르이베 차제 니여봐 차제 인스네 딩게레 수디 차두마트 제버리 수디 인사 샤라 수베 초기 참이당 이 초기 이 매는 초기 참이래 이 초기 수진도 초기 참이 말이스 초기 차야리스 샤르단도 샤르초 누초 샤르조를 때문에 차지 누조를 때문에 차지 장조를 때문에 차지 야르바 디제타.
Okay, with respect to the functional things first, functional things there could be many things. Soup means like form, dark, sound, taste, smell, raw, taste, right? Reja, textile, texture, touch, yes, tactile, touch, textile, touch. Okay, so there are many of them, right? So then the things are exclusively swiftly divided into physical and non-physicals. Okay, now they can divide into physical and non-physical. Right? Now they apply to the refutation and explain elsewhere of physical things that are direction partless, is in direction, and so on. Anyway, so then in general that means so things are mass or like the physical things. So it always has parts. So no matter how big or small you can cut into or make it, but it always has. It will always have the parts. So for instance, if you put it in somewhere, so that you can say like an eastern side, you can always point like eastern side of the thing is northern side of the thing, and then you can have these parts. Because of that parts, we said it has parts.
Yeah, that's shenikaba. Ngobola. 제다마 디넥스게 뭐보라 아니 나 뭐부 되게 초기 참냈으면 지켜낸 게. 다 공부라서도 초야리. 제다마도 공부라서도 샤르 초지지 야리. 두 참고 되래 참여리 두 참고 참여리. 그 초기 자체야 말이야. 유창무티 참여를 했으려. 다 셰바라 주주수미 요사기 셰바도스 차제를 봐. 다리도 주지 셰바티 나들 차지 인구 차다. 지주기 차다 제비 차야를 봐. 다 셰바티 마파 타타타지네 셰바티 기계지 셰바 참무제 이 참여를 했으게. 주제 초기 참여, 셰바 뒤기 참여세지. 니 캐링 게레스. 이 거주디 슝신의 셰바는 시티. 거주디 셰네 셰바 따르스 잘라스. 거주디 주제 초기 참여 거주 셰바 뒤기 참여 거주디 파 셰네 셰바는 시티 제라스. 뭐부 탐제 차제도 없어. 뭐부 있는 차제 있어. 아니 주제 초기 전에서 해야 돼 말이지. 주제인데 차제리. 시가 주지지만 다 시가 세야 돼. 근데 시가 돼. 근데 탁세야기 계지제라. 계지들 두 줄에 있는 채야 돼. 두 줄에 있는 채에 차지가 두대 계지만 지시게. 다 두대 계지만 들이야 파차만 붙여서는 아니 그래서 자족이 깨지지. 자족이 퉁대 깨지 있어요. 자주주 자족이 퉁대 깨지지라. 저것도 왜 윤대들이 자주주를 나스. 자주주를 나치 밑에 퉁무하래.
자소 깨지 말아대.
아,
자소 깨지 마라.
네 자족이 퉁대 깨지지라. 내가 자족이 퉁대 깨지면 지시게. 내가 자주주를 나치 밑에
두대 깨지 마시.
퉁무하래. 다 대제 투무 많이 받잖아요. 제가 숨게 부주를 내야. 이제 지금 연습들아 계지기 숨게 부주를 내야. 숨게 계지 부주를 내는 지금 계지라. 이제 계지 마세요. 지라. 어디에 이 참여를 해서요. 어디 나라기보다 뒤진별로는 이 차제를 해서 참여 말이 차제를 해서 제주는 차제인데 겹치기가 다시
두두두기 참여 인세 숨겨 주주를 행하치네 대 윤지를 참여 인세 그러면 주주를 행하치네 대 윤지를 주 참여 인세 숨겨 주주를 행하치
숨겨 주주를 행하서 자족이 퉁대 깨지면 찔러
숨겨 주주를 마치네
주주를 행하치에서는 주주를 행을 레리야
그래서
되게 좀
두대 깨지 마시 주주를 행하치
다 주문 많이 받자비는 숨겨 주주체네 찔러야 되게 맞습니다.
근데 참여 인세 그러
참이 신당 참이
So we
라룰라 차제
also
시에는 차제 미쳤어.
so here is that non-function applying the refutation and example elsewhere. Okay, physical text elsewhere. So then it's like so this text is not going to elaborate about how you refute them, so you're just relying on other resources of text and stuff like that. It's talking about that. Okay, now there are some schools. Okay, schools, they believe there is partless particles and partless time. Okay, time. According to the Vaibhashika, the Chiramawa, okay, Vaibhashika, they said that if you cut down a physical form, cut down, so then you get to the point where you cannot make any parts. Okay, so that parts. That's called. When they look at the big vase, they say there is actual combination of particles. They said that. So if you go to like one particles, then you break it down the particles, and then we get minute and all goes then right. So at the end, then you will reach the point that there's a parts that you cannot make any more parts out of that. So they believe in that kind of thing. Okay. So because of that, because collection of all these particles, partless particles put together, it becomes the parts or the parts that can actually make particles, something like that. Okay. So then they believe in that, and then the time. So for instance, time, right? Time, and the mental consciousness. Then how can they actually make that mental consciousness? So mental consciousness, they divide it into the times, just times. So then times, then one day, 24 hours, you can just narrow it down, and you reach to this like one moment of the one moment of the snap in your finger, right? It's like this, right? That's that kind of time it called. That is the minimum time. That's something you can complete an action. Okay, this is the action. Something, any action. So they cannot be completed this smaller than that kind of time. That means this will be the minimum kind of time. periods need to be complete in the actions. Okay, that's why in Tibetan we call like the Tudekejima. I don't know in English. Do you have technical name for that? Tudekejima. Anyway, so this is the time reference to that. Then the common way to break that time into pieces. Yeah, so then the common way, if you break it, common means like in the universally accepting, so you can break that time into 65 moments. Okay, then the 65 moments, and then according to the Mahayana, that can be break into 360 moments, 365 moments. Okay, that will be the most like the shortest moment. Okay. So then there's when you part that in, divide it into 65 parts. So that one moment, there are 65 of them, right? Each of them are, according to the Babashika, they said this will be the what you call this, partless. You cannot break any part, make smaller than that.
that only 주된 참무 지하로다. 주된 때만 차로 지인도 정말 주된 참무디 랑기 당이 뒤집에 초기 참매스. 랑기 당이 뒤집에 초 참매스. 주된 참무들라 디 샤조기 디 녹초기 디 진의 장초기 시장이 지체야 말이야. 이네 그게 참들이 초기 참매 랑게 당이 뒤집에 초기 참매스 지다 차제리 시에도 차제인 거 잡았어 디스게르바 디스게르 딱
Kansas State.
아니 어디리 딱
Okay, so then according to this school, but they still believe that particle, the smallest particle, there's something they cannot be break according to the other schools, right? So that it said that that particle is so small, so you cannot actually point sort of like the direction on that particles. But and in this system believes that anything can be break into parts.
그 자체 체중에 딱 라두야르디 아니 라두는 다 파티 세세세니 라두는 그 맨도르 맨도르 이슈지 다 유행에 두스는 다 차제리 차제 그런 게 당연히 또 차야 말이지 지단 그 초기 차야리스 주대신도 참모들이야 샤르 유니지야 주대신 참모지 놀러 유니지야 주대 쪽이 참이 쿠란 참만 뭐야리 샤르 유니지야 놀러 유니지야 그 차제 인식이스
Anyway, so that small particle, the least one, the particle, right? It said that one way it said that if you're able to cut that, like in two pieces, like cut that, right? It will disappear. There's no more any particles. Okay, so this is one way to look at it. And another one to look at it is like so this that particle, but still you don't say you can point sight on that particle so tiny, so you can point it, the direction of this four direction and the eastern side and so on. But there is, there should have like something that facing to east, something that facing to north, south, in all directions.
다디 어디 있어 다디 디세들이 차다차지니가 디디게지마 신의 셔바달까라 뭐고 탐제가 차제기 켜버두고 근데 뭐 간제지네 차제 이미 켰어 주제 초기 참여디 초기 참여리디 차제리 셔바두기 참여세디 셔바들 파파파치는 콜로 뒤는지 치아 매버치 척이야 참무들에 ngaji 숨치 ngaji 숨치를 지들에 여기 차지야 말이 때때 여기 차지는 보시바 이것이 나도 시바 이것도 돌두게 제사 데라 차 제나 시바 이것도 돌두게 다시 시바 이는 또 매도 봐 다르지 제주도 매도 봐 매도를 미시지 이러고 있는 다 차지인 거죠.
So then, so for eastern direction and so for partless eastern direction, okay. That are temporary partless. The Substantiva prove that functioning things necessarily have parts. Okay, this is the one point. Then, if parts and whole were different entity, they would be unrelated. Okay, so here, okay, and the Substantiva proves that functioning things are necessarily have parts. Right? So now look at the time, right? Time, the continuation of your mind, right? Mind. So then you break into that thing, so it comes to like a very like the shortest moment, right? Shortest moment. Try to break that into three parts of like future, present, and past, right? If you break that, so then that actually loses the quality of mind on that thing. So that means like you cannot actually project on that as a mind anymore. You will lose the sense of that is being a mind will disappear, so it loses that thing. So that's why it said that. So then but still according to this what's it the Satrantika, so they said where is it? So it has to have some parts anyway. Anyway.
Yeah, that is that is
Okay, yeah. It's in the middle, actually, middle. It's the certainty proves that functioning things necessarily have parts. 근데 차 유래는 그 차욕을 했어요, 지금. 차유 차진 탑승. 시도는 차진. So another word means like anything phenomenon, any phenomena that exists that has to be part. That has to have parts.
어떤 뜻은 시바 참에 결린 게 말이야. 두제 참에 결린 게.
So that means they don't believe in what's it, partless, and they don't believe in how to say 주된 참여지 partless. 시바 참여라고 그래.
시바 두기 참.
시바 두기 참여 means
시바 두기 참이 두제 초기 참이.
during chogi chami is easy, so the partless of directional partless, and then the consciousness sheba chogi chami, sheba dugi chami means consciousness is not partless in time. So
다 시바세야 돼 먼저 나는 비유스니 스토가 비유세야 돼 기기 뒤맞으시니 시바라시게 기기 뒤스니 시베 뒤바라시게 비유세야 돼 비유를 제가 인제 시바세야 돼 비유나지 유인이 집이야 시바샤고야 시바디 다 비유나지 면에 시바 인구야 말이야 아니 이렇게지만 통질이야 시제디 시tun이디 조통내버렸던 그는 균시자와 균시자와 균세제리 균세야 돼 먼저 돌래야 도데스 균세야지도가 도 초스 아니 균세 상황들이 아니 지지기 균세니 저래 균세야 돼 균세야 균이 뒤면서 시발을 쓰게 근데 시발들은 균이 주고요 Gyundi Shebati Pad, Yumamati Paji, Chimati, and the Gyumeni Shebati Shagiamari. Gyumeni Shebati Shane, Shebati Dogurba. Shebati do Sumati, Jongaman, Chimani to Dogurba. But the son, you see a dear. Just I Shebala, Juji Chami killing the Maris.
So in the Tantrayana normally we call this text Gu, in Tibetan Gu. I think the mantra, right? Gu, mantra, the mantra. For instance, sound of Gu means something begins Tantra, yes, Tantra. Tantra, Goya Samaja Tantra. So we use that on Gu. Gu means continuation. Okay, so here the continuation or yu refers to the mind. So that means like the mind has to be linked to each other. So always has to have the future parts and the past part of the past and the present. So otherwise we cannot link them all together, string them together. Sort of like that means that if you believe there's no matter how deep you go, how subtle you go, if you find a mind that is independent, not having any link, future and past, in terms of like a time, future and the past, the presence. So then, if you find something without having all these three qualities, the future, past, and time, that means like then you cannot actually link all these mind together. So if you're not able to link all this mind together, then there's a danger that we may say like there's such a being, then they don't go in the future lives. Then there's a logic. We use one of this logic. It says all the things are empty of intrinsic existence because they are composition of parts, something like that. Okay, parts, right? We use that. Then if you flip that, so everything, all the phenomena are, if all the phenomena are how do you flip that? Okay, no. So so we use the last one. If something is not composition of parts, so that will be intrinsic existence. Okay, you flip it over, it goes like this, right? This is the logic how it goes. And then if you say that means like if something is partless, so that entity becomes intrinsic, truly exists, phenomena, things.
That is.
Okay, let's have a break.
Tena chaje chadan chaje niga mu tadena temi jikwe kala mu chitute hiche tela chitra no tebana yiju mu chi inja naju mu tadetuna tadine ta chada chaje se 신다 콜로이나 신다 콜로기 아니 콜로다 아니 신자기 신주세르바 싱데 콜로디 차지에르가 디 차셰디 콜로당 네 셀라서부터 마부야르가 싱도수 판 군인이 뭐지리 이제 뭐지리 dinan도 좀봐 못하게 되는 게 아니지 파텐도 좀봐 강하는 것도 봐 싱데 시티 찍는 게 이네 싱데 콜로세야다 지 도수 가가지는 그래 봐 그래서 더디 전달을 뭐지 그래 난 도버타돼야 돼 차도 차진세야 돼 민카가 야래 이네야 차도 차진이 돼 전달을 뭐지 그래 차도 차진세나 근데 분배 시합 분배 초도 분배 카도 수강 걸로 분배 차셔야 돼 분바스야 돼 차진들 어디 분배 차도 차진이 어디 민카가 야래 민카가 야래 때 저는 뭐지 그래 저는 민카가 이것들은 똑같아 됐어요 똑같아 됐어 민카가 이는던 똑같아 됐어 전에 실제도 메타바니 있어야 돼 제바도 메타바니 있대 제바 이는 메타바니 미쳐 메타바니 제바이 미쳐 그리지 나그 민카가 누가 똑같아 돼요 전달 파전에 군이 뭐지 미치미 민이다 셔서 지레주나 어디에서는 제바도 메타버렸지 이부디 도파타데리스 시티 제바세디 규경기 제바를 때는 제바 스타셔 메타바세디 계지는 메타베 차니 그 메타바다 그 제레 가가지 제레 민들어지 이해봐 어디 차는 따버리면 쉬 된다지 그니 집어봐
So then, page number 96, and the paragraph is third from the bottom. Okay, at that time, no matter how the mind looks into it, it understands that although the mode of being of parts and whole is to be one entity, okay, and their mode of appearances to thought, they appears to be different entities. Yes, okay. So that means the parts and the whole are same thing. Okay, same thing. That means when we look at the chariot, right? Chariot.
Yeah.
So then when we see chariot actually made out of different parts like wheels, nails, woods, and they have many things, right? So when we look at that, look at the chariot, so then you see, all these details separately, but separately, but that single object from that parts sort of I would say the parts of this chariot is not other than the whole. Yeah, so then whole is not other than the part of the chariot. Yeah, and then if you look at the vase, okay, vase, same thing. So then we have top, in the middle we have little, like what's it called? We call it the belly, right? Okay, belly, belly, and then foot, right? And okay, so then, so when we look at the part again, there are many parts, right? Parts. But these parts are not other than whole vase, and the whole vase is also not other than the parts. The same. That's why it says. The mode of being of parts and whole is not to be one entity. Same thing. Similar like chepa and mitapa. Chepa means produce, sometimes they translate as things, right? And mitapa means impermanence, right? These two are same thing. So then, but these two are same thing. We call that the names are different. the dopa means like how you label them, how the name, how you call it. The names are different. So these are same because things. If all things are produced things. Like produced things means like, and it grows or it arises. That's why we call it, because of this perspective, we call it produced things. Yeah? So that the thing has the same. That same thing has object has another quality like impermanence. So it changes momentarily, right? So but these two are same thing. If something is arise object things, so that should be impermanent, momentarily changed. If something is momentarily changing, it needs to be arise. Right? So similar like that. So one or the other, same thing means like same thing, even though they have like different names. If you look at the parts and the whole, each of the parts you can label them or call them, name them like differently, but the whole thing is actually same as, all particles are same as whole thing.
다른 저 류세 저러 류세디 연하진 디제 류디기 참고다 강바다 나파도수 류디기 차셰 차진디 류 쿠라네 수수 류디 차진디제 류디기 차셰디가 류디기 연하스니 차셰디가 강바나파 뭐 이네야르바 디디 강바다 나바다 고도수 랑기 류제노 타데야마 뭐 타데이네 강바다 나바디게 파피니 류시 로스티 땡치야고 디하마리 너는디 류시야디 두수 초바딜레다 류시게 랑기 나디사다 디 모지레스 모체리데 난줄은 나인데 못하게 되는 게 라바다 류세데티 니랑기 류기 고세나 류기 고세나 류당 거기 가가시 는게 재미를 붙이는 게 뭐 타대 듣는 게 된다나 니랑기 류기 고티 류당 무지게 그래서 류지 되게 좁아질 류스다기로 제사 전달은 무지게 되지 나 이제 좀 못하게 되는 게 이제
So same thing as our body. So when we look at body, we see all these hands, legs, and parts of the body. We see that. So, but all of these parts are not other than your body, and the body is not other than all these parts. But when we perceive them, we perceive in different. So we don't know that. We don't understand. We don't appreciate that these two things are same thing. So that's why we said that, my body's head. I don't know how it's good in English anyway. My head, right? My head, my actually refers to your whole sets of body. Okay, by my head, my leg. You said that. So when you say that, you are actually making two different things. Okay, two different things putting together. Because you are thinking mentally, so you're thinking your body is something else, and your partner, and your head is something else, and also your body is something else, and your leg or the limbs are something else. You think that. Right? So, but we don't understand the body is actually parts of all this. What we composition of all these things, like the limbs and all these things, and all these things, the limbs and heads and all these things, are actually your body. It's not other than body, and body is also not other than all these parts of your body. So we don't, when we perceive them, when we see them, we see differently. We think like these are different entities. The body is somewhere else, and my hands is someone else. Our parts is someone else. I think that.
다들 그 말이 지난다. 다 그 말이 가르치네. 다들
was just concerned like maybe we're doing too much details.
No,
it's just getting nice now.
it's getting
Yeah.
nice.
사실은 근데 다 인주라 템바 있는 시기에 능주지랑 인주니 가가 샤야 말이 템바 있는 템바 주가 있는 능주 되네 좀 지금 인구 능주를 현다지나 내주를 예 현다지는 내버디 단 준비를 샤래 샤 준비 추라 템바 마주발을 띄우리 템바 주스나 강낭스는 너나시 두부이야 단다된 준비 추라 군주도 여발라 단 준발라 군주 최통제 준비 공부된 준비 인식이 준비 인상 나중에 뭐 다돼도 나야 내주 뭐 지도 내거든 준비 출래 되게 다 템버 주바이나 나중에 내주야 지금 내고 그러지 뒤에서는 아니 야라도서 야라 젠다 야라 니우티 뭐지도 나는 지기 지기는 니 랑글라바다랑 리니 지기 아니 라바다 야라만 부이바나시 류만 부이고 쓰야래 다디디
So then we got all these confusions, like so then we said things are truly existence, right? Truly existent. We say the lack of truly existence, sort of like a lack of truly existent. We do say lack of truly existent. So when we perceive things, so then the way we perceive the things and the actual mode of that things is total two different things, right? So then that's why it says lack of truly existence, because they don't match with the way it appears to us. This is totally different than how they appears to us. That's why I said these are empty of truly existence. This is why we call it empty of truly existence, right? So now, so then the what about if we see, okay, let's say like if we see whole and the part as a separate, we have a problem with that, right? So then it's not true. Part is not other than the whole is not other than the part. Then what if you see all this one then, right? So one and the part is, you say like a part is the part, all the parts are whole and the whole is the part. So if we look at it, put it an example on your body. So if you say part is the whole, then the hand, you need to say hand on like the body and the parts, okay? So if you say all the parts are body, so then what about hand? Is this the body, hand? If you say hand is a body, then we have like a lot of bodies. And lots of bodies on. So each of the body should have like all these limbs and everything.
당근들이 템바단 준바세 능주도 내주 tumbatele 템바시게 능주도 내주 미tumbatele 준바시게 당근들 공발로서 받을 수치 탐지 준바래 능주도 내주 미tum바래 다 템바 주바이나 다 템바시니티 능주도 내주 tum바 나와나 시 두고 제사 나와나 시 두고 예산에 비례 템바는 공발로서 받을 수 템바이는 그래서 그래 나와나 시 두고 예봐 나와나 시 두고 예산에 아니 아니 그래서 그래 能住现在就呢，你住的现在就那个地体验嘛，这地面个意思呢，能住两百多个地样嘛的意思，学他们就准备的意思，能住的你住没住讲价的意思，就是学他们就准备了吧，就是这这单讲不准备个车的地，能住的你住没准备的了。准备，那就等于就准备的了，两把事。
So now the main thing is like the real. We're struggling with the real and unreal, right? True and untrue, sort of like this. We're struggling between these two things. So then, what is actually real? So real, or another word means like truly existence. Okay, real means truly existence, real. So that real means it should match your the way you perceive and the mood of the object. So then if they match, so then we can call that is true or truly exist. Okay? If the things they don't match with your appearances, appears something and their being mood is something else, so this is they don't match it. So we say like this is unreal. Right? So then, so if things, for instance, vase or any object, you pick any objects, so then there are, we call all of these are, in another words, is the conventional truth, right? Like an unreal or artificial, phenomena. You can say artificial phenomena, Zumba. In Tibetan it's Zumba. We call them the Zumba, or in English, I think the conventional phenomena, right? So that means, so then the way we see them and the mode of being existing is totally two different things. That's why we call it, conventional phenomena or not unreal phenomena.
근데 디네 동아테 디네 된다 로텔라 나야 온기 샤베 준베 디루라 가와메장 로티 된다 나야 온기 샤바 메메 디루 이나 미리티 마시바다 템바 투나 나주다 네주 미툼바 미시스 템바 투스나 나주다 네주 미툼바 시그마리스 템바 투나 넘바 탐제 두 준바 빠네네 코리스 아니 템바 투가 있는 넘바 탐제 두 준바 빠네 네 코리 이나 아니 네고네 이는 뭐 타제도 나는 뭐 타제가 조금리스 못하제도 나는 못하제도 임백도 못하제도 나는 너티 맞추발 되고래 못지나 못지발 뇌치르스 아니 못하제도 나와디 로 맞추가 이나 이니 못지 이발 뇌버티 뇌버 인그리죠 세상은 아주 최통제더니 कुतुब तो ये भाई ऐसा पुंबाला सुपर तो सु नेचु पुंबादा पुंबे ये लाई नेचु ला मोची दुनिया बड़ी थी नौचु लो मोथा तो दुनिया गया देखो पुंबा दिन जुम्बा ये सच्चे है ये ये थी तब पुंबा दी जंबा तो भाई ना नौचु मोची पुना वनाशी करे नेचु मोची पुना never nashi, no do young mochi, non couriers. Mochi to none, you can go pageant to be at. Oh, just that is just that is I left that in my
Yes, yes. So actually, let me just read through a passage from here. I can find it. Anyway, so that means, so that the meaning of that is that. So the all things are unreal, and then the not true, because it doesn't match your appearance and then the mood of the reality, right? So so then when we look at a vase, we see that vase has been vase, and then the particle of the vase, parts of the vase, we see them as individual. That's different. We see the color of the vase is different than the vase, and then all these things from we don't actually believe or see this part is actually all these parts actually the being of whole, the vast, right? So it happens to us because this is not true. The vast is not real, sort of not real. That's why that appears to us like this. Otherwise, if this is true, so then everything gets mixed, sort of get mixed up, sort of like. So that's why. So we don't see the parts as part is same as whole, and the whole is same as parts, something like that.
Adi, temba tuba ina ngobu chila chatuma mebati tedu beri. Chatuma mebati. Chatuma yune nanchu tajaba yati tuma yuba. Nanchu tajaba tuma yubati temba ina. Temba tuba ina. Tiga kanga kaga chik mate bari tuba. Ta dina si nga sheba tindu la nanchu tumba tiji. This
So then if we say, when we look at a vase, so I'm still talking about the vase. So when we look at the vase, if you say this is truly exist, so then we see them as different. All the parts is different from the whole part, or the whole vase. So that means then that creates us. If this is a truly exist, and I have to tell you, we're talking if this is a truly exist, then it causes a lot of problems here. So because then all the part has either all the parts, each of these parts has to be part, or part is part is being kind of being scattered, or being too many things. If it's true, okay.
I think the Nangale Pumbe Tongjale Kebe Nanga Shale Kebe Nanga, Numbe Kebe Nanga, Naba Mabuyari, Nangale Ni Chatu Mayari, Nanga Sayati Pumbe Tongjale Kebe Pumbe Nagi Nanga Jayari Dinashi Mobu Tamji Nanga Yari Nangachi Nanga maybe in the Mobuti Nanga Chulune Chutria never. Pumbena the Chulus and the Chuluba. The Tongche Juyasan to be a. The Pumba Karanginale Chuludi Pumbatina Palumba Chandria Chiara. Pumbatina Nanga Chiari. Nanga Chias and Quitting Pa Tongche Nangati Kaviasan. Children Bachan, Judy Park, Braya. Quitting to Nanga Marina, quitting children, could Lumbachati. Lumbachati career and Queen on the Don Chichusa. Don't get the Chudy if I check together. Just a Nanga the Kangolo, the shooting Kangolo, and Nanga kept there. The Kabe as a duck, charging in Nangati. Tang Chashi Nangati Geti Tempa Tuvaina charging in Nangati Chilayamara Nangasati charging in Nangati Shajo Nanga Nujo Nangasena Chashi Nangati Tan Nanga Tempa Tuvaina Nanga Tichi never Nashi Shajo Nangata and Nujo Nangati Ching Shajo Nangata, Nupjo Nangati Nangata, no Chigis. Shajo Nangata, Nupjo Nangati, Nangati Derba. Could Tala Nangati, no Chig. Shajo Nanga, Nupjo Nanga. Tati Shajo Nangata, Nupjo Nangani Kagarba. The Naga the Tempa Tuvaina, Naga the Tempa Tuvaina, ni Kunan to Karasuri, Tempa Tuvaina, Nagati, Shajo Nagata, which is Nangiera. 오집도 나왔나시 직인구야리스 덴버봐 집도 나왔나시 직인구 집들이 이렇게 내려버려다 샤종은 난것도 집에는 샤종은 난것도 집이는 아니 샤종은 난것다 우종은 난것이 집이인 난것도 샤종은 난것도 집이래서나 우종은 난것도 집이래서나 아니 샤종은 난것도 집이래도래 집이래도래다 다티 말해봤지 다 덴바 좀 된데 이제 그들이 스피언티 야리스 덴바 좀 많이 봐야서니 뭐지 나나야 뭐지 많이 같이 뭐 봐 샤종은 나가다 뭐 쪽에는 것도 무슨 나가다 뭐지 리디 지기 그야 말이스 그때 준비 인사 샤종은 나가다 무슨 준비를 봐 준비해서 덴바 많이 봐야서 그래 너주 가가야리스 내주 가가다 너주 가가이 버티 태그리 했었다지
So then let's look at space. The space. I don't know if it's getting easier or harder.
I like
Look at space. Okay, space. So space could be many things, right? So then, for instance, our vase has space inside, right? Inside. Then because of the space, so we can pour water inside, and even the vase itself, the clay, it is a matter of clay. So then, in between all this, the clay, so there is space filled with space, even though there we see them, it appears to us like a very tight kind of tight close. But still there's a space in between, right? Space can be like many things, right? Now, so the logic is like this. So when we say, space is truly exist, okay? Truly exist. If this is a truly exist, the space has to be independent, okay? Independent. So then now we have space in the eastern side, the western side, and all this, right? But the eastern side of the space is space. That's right. And then the western side of the space is space. But the eastern side of the space is not western side of the space. There's differences, right? There's different, right? So then the same thing applies to the other ones, right? They are two different entities, two different things. So when we say the space, general space or the space is truly exist, so that means then the eastern space should be one with the general space, okay, space. If you do that, then it says to be space, right? So then we get into sort of like a problematic sort of. Then what about the western state? It's space, that's space. But that space is not the western space. Okay, space. There's no flexibility, okay? Flexibility. There's no, if this is truly exists, so you cannot say that. You cannot have like that kind of flexibilities, okay? If you say the space is empty of inherent existence, right? Empty of inherent existence, then you can have, these two things, these two different, your appearances and the mood of existing can be different, right? If the spaces truly exist, so then the appearance of the space and the mood of that existence has to be matched, right? If it didn't match, so then you have to say the eastern space is also space. So then the western space becomes the eastern space. You don't see the flexibility.
That's right.
Flexibility, right? It doesn't. But if you say the space is lack of intrinsic existence, okay, the empty of truly existence, then you have all these possibilities. So because the way we see and the mood of existing doesn't need to be matched, right? the mesh. You can see that is a space, but you can have, but even though you seems like Eastern space is like Western space, whatever, but you can make this distinguish. So you can say, oh, this is Eastern space, this is Western space. From your mind, you can make it. Okay? Because of the lack of truly existing.
어디 제선되네. 어디 담바투바 야마레스 거기야르다다. 담바투스 강리텐도 야마레스. 담바투바테 분베텐 분바 담바투바 이니께 망고야레스.
So mainly we're trying to refute any possibility of inherent existence, truly existence. If we accept truly existent things or phenomena, then it creates a lot of problems.
분바 담바투바 이나 딱게 망고야레스. 분바 담바투바 마인바 분바티 담바 마인바 주바 예산이 아니 분바티레 밍 망부 따야 분바티레 차시 망부 유야 랑도 초반에 차시 망부 유야디 그 준바 인사 니 디테기야레스. 그 담바투바 지나 아니 야 디테기야 말이스. 담바투바라 아니 야 그러리 차시 나다와 망부 이거 되게 말까스네. 나주도 내주 태우고 나주도 내주 태우고 좀 차시에 되거든. 내주라 뭐지도 내가. 나주 내주는 뭐지도 내가 나시 아니 뭐지 이구야. 뭐지 예수는 콜라 현달이 캡에 찾더니 내구야. 난주는 뭐지도 나시 내가 나시 저래야 지기구야. 샤족 분바다 뭐지래. 분바지 뭐지래지 나 이제 다들 다 분바지 담바투가 있나? 아니 샤족 분바다 분바니부티 진리도 샤족 분바다 분바니부티 뭐지 주말에 뭐지래. 뭐지 예산이 그 뭐지도 주변 나시 뭐지 인반 나시 능주대 뭐지도 나고 이제 나이도 좀 못하게도 능도가 야 다들이 단데 디비치스다.
So anyway, in overall, we're trying to refute sort of any possibility of truly existence here, truly existence. So then so if because of lack of truly existence, so then we can have different types of operations or like function. So because of the vase is lack of truly existence, we can have different colors on it, we can have different shapes, and then we can make it out of different things. So otherwise, if it is just truly exists, then you cannot have all these things. You can have different colors and these kind of things. This actually causes problems.
Then 담바투 나니 뭐분 내봐 남 담바투가 양 단지 수제 담바투한테 까차수나 수진의 담바투한테 까지 수진이 차도 못해 제버리스 담바투가 있는 차도 못해 제버리기 말이스 수진이 초기 차도 못해 제버리스 시아바디에 담바투가 말이스 유이지 차도 못해 제버리스 수나 다디나시 다디 뭐고 매발 차 도마지게 난가양 수진가 실에 잡아 편나 도마지게 난가들이나 아니 수진가 실에 잡아 편나 수진이 켜는 거예요. 이 가래에서는 샤를 켜에 차지. 또 뭐지 난가지라 샤를 켜에 차지. 초시를 켜에 차. 누를 켜에 차. 장을 켜에 차. 외된도 켜에 차. 가외된도 켜에 차. 다만 부야래. 또 뭐지 난가라. 디 샤를 켜에 차. 초시를 켜에 차. 켜는 그래서 대신도 춘이라양 춘이디에 차도마트 제버리 담바트고 말이 차도마트 제버리 차제리 있으게 춘이디에 담바트고 말이 그 차제리 차제인데 차도마트 제버리 어디 춘이라양 캡에 차도마이 춘이디에 분배된도 캡에 춘이지 가외된도 캡에 춘이 저 탐지를 때도 중일이 여러 이 여산의 중일이 차제리 이것도 말이지
King Kwanlo and indeed. So then we read through the text. So then we talked about how we see Lego truly existing on the physical forms, right? Physical things. And also we have looked at the mental consciousness. Right? Now look at something that is non-produced thing. Stuff like that. Okay, non-produced thing. For instance, space. Okay, space. So then the space, so there space also has parts and particles. This is inside, not inside. Something is in the part. And there's a space in the part, so all of this actually parts of this whole space, and then we can, and also each and every single phenomena has ultimate nature, which is emptiness, and all of this emptiness are also the lack of truly exist. So they also have parts and parts, and I mean they also have parts, so they are not partless. So in the text summary it says that they are not partless as well. Do you have 96? Oh, okay. This is bottom of 96. Falsely, but with the true establish, hence the truth. Okay, we can look at it here.
그래서 뭐군요 같은 것 중에 우리가 이거는 이제 두 번째
All the many parts and whole are not
수진이
fused
글씨를
into
캡에 차이 켜니
Okay.
샤라소라지 대신도 춘이양 차도만
And provide the direction, likewise reality, or emptiness. Yes, here. It's in the last paragraph, as you. Likewise, reality or emptiness also has many parts, providing phenomena as well as many different parts, as well as very different early and middle awareness. So you have that. Okay. So much read from this text, this section.
춘이래 아니 참만 부야레스 롱나치기 산제기 도베 춘이 있습니다. 샘제기 도베 춘이 있습니다. 야 샘제기 도라 산제기 도라 샘제기 마도베 춘이야. 산제기 사이 춘이 도수 산제기 도리 샘제기 도미야 말이야. 그냥 샘제기 야 가르쳐 그래. 디지 돌아 빠져 melum 파베 가사기 기 파베 가사는 또 소소 교우 마도베 군이야. 그래서는 디지 파베 가사기 유지 람기 땡기 춘이디 파베 가사기 메시지기 소소 교우 또 두기야 말이야. 무슨 디남지 디나시다 수수기우 담하게 마도니 수수기우 돈이 돈이 동일이 찾든 참은 부야래.
So then in the text it says, likewise, reality or emptiness also has many parts, providing phenomena as well as many different parts realized. Okay, many different parts realized by different earlier and later awareness. Okay, so there's like you have like earlier and later awareness, right? And there are many parts because there are reality that actually seen by Buddhas, and there are reality that actually seen by sentient beings. Okay, and there are some reality that's seen by Buddha but not sentient beings, and there are some reality that's seen by Arya, what's it? Arya, Arhats, not Arhats. Arya beings, okay. Arya beings, not sentient beings. Okay, so they have like many different types of realities.
That is that. That to the law my you are a job. Zumbani, Umape, Zumba, GPS. That to the law my you Kasagi, Kasal Jabe, Zumba the Karisha of Jeshing is to need to the law my you are the Zumbari. You met Ananti. Today, lo maju ala Zumbari. Then today, lo maju Kansa Anantu Tameba Jitemba to Sugi the Jumati Jumetana Jumeta the Zumbaimba Jumeta the Navatar Matubati Jitemba Namki to Tuya. Yanuna the chasing Sumiti now at Nevati, Manandre Toturi, Suzuki Tamabali, Kurang Patani, Pigi Shingi, Shigunangi chasing Sumiti, Jay the Maibat, Hakuya, Jell and Nangiarity, Pata December, Rangi, 29 Gruba. Nangit the Rangi, 20 Pina, Shiguna University. Zingi marba messing hapuditi rangi tonti shivu chuji jinandu yamarba this nungi tige yarba wati isan melonang jeshiti nawatar matubati tujelo machive kansa susukyo rangawa tusuge zumbato tube zumbatiri jidem today long maju ala tapin Zumbatiri. Zumbatis tuga. Today long maju ala tapin Zumbani Umape Durban Zumbata to images. Umape to Zumbati Caresse, Tembana, Temba Matuvati, Umapala tapin Zumbatiri. Umape Zumbato, Tembana, Temba Matubato Suna. Shooting into Zumbatos, Tempatiki, Tempatubati, Temba Matu, Tubanaya, Temba Matubati, Pataku, the Umabala Zumbatiri, the Karasude, Zumbati Tamuji, Tuni to Tani Mishiji, to Tubiyama. Melona the Jeshi within Sunigan, now at Matubati. Punya to bala matuba, Zuji Telanga, Zumbai, but to be a Tiji then Tabe, to tell Maju ala Tab Zumbati, what did done. Uma bala Tab and Zumbai with the Kaga.
So I think it's on page number 7, second paragraph from the top. The falsity, right? Renowned among those whose mind have not been affected by the tenet is not the same in meaning as the falsity asserted by the Madhyamika school. Okay, so that means falsity is not someone who have not been affected by the tenet. That means this refers to an ordinary beings, okay, ordinary beings. So that kind of understanding, like a false or the right or wrong, sort of like right and wrong. So that is something, and there's a general kind of right and wrong. So you can make a distinction between like a false and right, False and right. So you can make that distinction. it's there are some ordinary being can actually make that. For instance, when we look at look at a mirror, so you will see your face in there. So we never believe there's no way we can believe that the reflection is your face. We don't have that kind of feeling, right? So then it's even like sometimes we use tiny, a small kind of the mirror, and how can your face fit in that mirror, right? Something that you will not. This is no way you will believe that. You can understand that kind of false or mistake. Okay, then whatever you see is your face in the mirror, so you know that is not your face. You can say that. But here, when we talk about the Madhyamika kind of like a false view, we're not talking about that kind of view. Okay? So here we're talking about false view refers to seeing things truly exist. Okay, seeing things truly exist. So then, if you understand that, things are not truly exist, that means like you have seen emptiness, right? So the other faults, like looking at your face in the mirror, you don't need to see emptiness for that. So you can, normal like mind, you can understand, you can make that and differentiate. But in order to see the Madhyamika schools falsely view or like this refers to the empty of true existence. That means like in order to understand that, so you have to see the emptiness.
다디 주주치를 누가 다디
Kali usan dia ni.
다디 그냥 디타시
Tiba.
저 다시
Okay, questions?
대체는 그 교수님
Never miss the. So you might be very confused right now.
어디 지난 연구 그랬죠. 지금 이 전에 슈라 디레지 시에서는 야때 그래. 야때 슈라 디레지 시에서는 고치를 치르고 그래. 지난 동반이 내주셔야 돼. 그 커버를 봐. 동반이 땅 쳐야 돼서는 뭐 사발할 때는 들고 이제 저는 동반이 땅 쳐야 돼. 이제 또 그래도 저는 뭐 사발할 때는 주말에 때 동반이 손을 들리 치다 지야 돼. 저는 뭐 사발할 때는 주말에 제사 대산계 웃음을 봐. 동반이 되니 땅 쳐디야 저는 뭐 사발 때는 중앙집 제사 땅 쳐가 잠기 찍고 바자 지역이야. 아니 바자 뒤 상으로 치니 즉 동반이야. 바자 샤네 아니 뒤쪽으로 봐. 쟤네들이 림지 동반이 파 슈마 동반이 도야기 고급에 중요하디 단도군에 동반이를 처음 지고 해야 돼. 다른 동반이를 처음 지고 마주는 단된티 류된티 배야부치 더블어. 우체다 이제 수술에 산지기 때문에 대바이 대바니 여가상 시대 처음전에 고야였고 어디저기 뒤쪽에다 되네 되게 때문에 처음 맞아버렸지는 다들 맞지네 둘러치게 영화를 찍게 야 밀리기네 공부 마찬가지로 찍게 야 공부 마찬가지로 맞지네 야 대번 상징 때문에 대번 매년 찍게서는 뒷담투야지 야 말이 되지만 다른데 야부지 대버제 가요지 지제베네 슈마 아니 디도기 산지기 때문에 그래서 그래 제지말라 산지기 디 우메타와 디제야기 우메타와는 초순지야 저바지야 삼바지야 고고라지 라야지 다디야리 야리스.
So yeah, it is sure that it's difficult to understand this topic, especially if you're listening for the first time, right? So, but don't feel discouraged, something like that, you say, because even though if you don't fully understand, sort of like during this teaching, so then it will by listening to this time, on this topic, so then in the future it will surely it will much easier for you because you have listened this one time. When you listen it over again, and then in the future, so then your understand will be much better than this time because you have heard that before. Because of that, so it will you will understand better. Okay? So then also it said that by listening to these teachings, even just having a doubt in these teachings, in the scripture said that actually helps us to accumulate a lot of merits, right? This you will have that kind of benefit, even though you may not understand. That's fine. Totally, you have that. Something you can take from this listening, and and also it said that to have that kind of opportunity to listen that kind of teaching, this kind of teaching, so it requires a very heavy karma, or not karma, it's a virtue stock. Yeah? So then if someone doesn't have that kind of virtues to listen to this teaching, it is impossible they can encounter with that kind of opportunities. So right now we have this opportunity to listen about this teaching and have exchange dialogue about these teachings and discuss about these teachings. That means we have actually, this is not just gift. We sort of we earn it. So we work on it. We did something. We all work on it. So that's why we have this opportunity. And also in the future, so in order to the future, for instance, so our goal is to become Buddha. So then it is impossible without going through this kind of training. So the Buddha is impossible. So you have to learn it one way or another way. You have to learn it. So then when we just started now, right? So we do this. So then in the future, if you rely on future, you may think I can do it in some other time, maybe in a future time, when I have all this fortunes, opportunity, and everything. But we are not sure what's going to be happening in future lives. So then there are many possibilities. There are more danger that we may not encounter with that kind of teachings. Right? So then we may born as a hell ram. This is impossible to do this kind of practice. There's no opportunity. There's no way you can hear about the teaching. Even if you're born as a human being, so then if you don't born in the right place, for instance, if you're born as the mentally not fit for this kind of teaching, or maybe of physical maybe not fit for this teaching, and also maybe you're born in a very remote place. Remote place means there's no access to any Dharma teaching. So even if you're born as a human being, there are many chances that you may not actually encounter with this kind of teaching. So that's why. So right now we have everything. So we don't need to rely on future lives or future opportunities. So we already have all this opportunity and facility for this listening to this teaching. Why don't we just use it? Why don't we just do it here, right? So then the future will be come together, naturally if you do it now. So that's why to think about them. So even though if you not understand or this difficult, and whatever, so then they think about all these other positive benefits. So then it may help.
저런 붙이기 때문에 때내 중에 딩이 센제 바스 투베 루사 겨와 탐제도 위에다 소이게 타는 진발라 깨지정에 처벌 많이 주지 때내 중에 딩이 센제 바 때내 중에 땡주비 땀디다 동반 지대 컨데 동반 마부야래 디네 동반 다장 동반 메시지 된주 아니 되네 중에 딩이 센자바 투벨로 상계와 통제 투벨로 상계 동반 상계 룩상부디 투벨로 상계와 통제 유리당 소이자 땅에 지발라스 유리당 소이자 땅에 지발라 유리당 중에 소당 중에 이 지발라 투벨 땅에 룩상부디 지발라 계지 땅에 처방을 주지 계지 땅에 처방을 주고 쇼스 어디 순으로야
So Jitsongkapa, he mentioned in his prayer that so these Shakyamuni's tradition were very old.
된데 되게 그때 순이야
It's actually end of the praise to the dependent rising end of this line. I will just do the rough translation for that. Okay. So he said that so this holy tradition of Buddha Shakyamuni, holy tradition of the dependent rising, sort of a dependent of holy dependent teaching of dependent rising of Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay, Shakyamuni. So I will exchange with my body, and my life, just to gain that kind of teaching. And
문제가 돈 때문에 문제가 돈 때문에 못 쓰게 딱 들이야 디스 주다
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're so happy.
Yeah.
아자는다 주의 아자이
You're so happy.
I'm sorry. So anyway, so he said he will exchange for his body and life for this kind of teaching. So he will not miss any single opportunities.
네, 단도야리 렘바초디 가와파미기스 다자고 또 말려봐 렘바초디 가와파미기 가와지 마부 괜히 되네 중에 딩이 센데 봤어 엄마의 되네 중에 딩이 두개를 그렇게 렘바초디 가와파미기 낸데 이부터네 두바디 탑가 시기니 배워 주는 양대 넘버 주는 인지 다 오셔스 렘바 초디가 다자고 돈바디 가바도 메버견이 아니 내데 인부제니 제르니 아니 대지기 때문에 이제 맞춰디가 밤이지 내내 인도 전에 두가지 아니 동분이 따와지 라시메 따와지 아니 가와밤 있겠니 뭐를 발람 기면서 가와밤 있죠 리다 소ja ini tani 가와밤이 전에 두가지 내내 인도 전에 두가지 리다 탑가 시기니 토이 주인인데 넘버 주인인데 다가셔스 진짜로 루스ам부티 탑가 시기니 근데스 때 태워치버리 근데스 전에 폐 탑가 시기 근데스 전에 태워주르 냠베다 인지 다가셔스 집에 폐야라 다 가르치니 대주고 되는 다와디 가르치는 컨디션에 지대 컨디션 배야게 다시 컨디션에 가이는 상가전에 인지 그래서 인지 다와쇼 다가라는 상단이 인지 다와쇼 무슨 거라 가방이 정바쳐디 가방이기 내대니 것은 주어지 주야지 땡주고 다와들이 가 운사 맞게군 가방이 전에 두샤버지 저들이 가방이 전에 저를 당건 류당 소장도 당을 소는들 소파도 내었다니 아니 동맹이 다와디 땡주고 다와디 니버가 니 샤버디 아니 근데서 폐게 당고이나 근데서 쟤는 폐게 두고 두기나서 다가는 삼노다는 이제 다가 쇼스 인데서는 삼노다가 다는 이제 다가 쇼스 어디 어디리 재산 등문주대 동바 산지 가방이 전에 아니 주샤바 다와들 문주 터섬지야리 동바 쿠랑기 딘데 딘주 다와디 굴레 망고 전에 다와디 군도 치바리 쉬네 등문주를 댄샤브라 댄바르바 다디지 그비 아니 다가나는 삼노탄지 근데 스페이지 당구이나 삼사 다가나는 삼노탄이 이제 다와쇼 숨바리
And also another prayer is said that this teaching is for teaching from the Shakyamuni. So he spent a lot of time on it, and also he sacrificed many lives for that. And then he's been hunting for this kind of solution, and then he been trained in like 3 years, and even like one single the teachings in order to get one single line teaching on this dependent rising, and he had to sacrifice many lives and stuff like that. So then, since he put that kind of effort in that, and he always constantly he was looking to like help and give this kind of teaching to sentient beings, something sentient being can able to understand and find the true path to get liberation. So constantly he's looking for that, always trying to help sentient beings by giving this kind of teaching, showing this kind of teaching to sentient beings. So then, so he kept that, for the Shakyamuni, he kept that, before when he acquired these teachings, when he find this teaching, he put a lot of effort in it, and also once during his like training, he put a lot of effort to gain the realization or the understanding of this teaching, and at the end, when he completed his own path, so then he put his effort to show people these teachings and help them through that kind of teachings. So then. And then from the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, he put a lot of effort for these teachings. So that's why. So because of that, keeping in that mind, in my mind, and then he said, I will, put my effort, and I will do this, and I will not any the what should say, lose any moment not to be in, not to practice in this kind of teachings.
다 이제 년대 년대 다와티 맞추네. 그거 이제 잠바티 지 도마니 다와티 타바지야 상바지야 제국이야리다 마타네.
So then in the prayer it says, I will carry this practice days and nights, so that's not, maybe this is very difficult for us, we may not able to do that, but whenever you have time and try to spend time, to use that time for that kind of contemplation or practice on this teaching.
나다들이 근데 다들 저 단신들도 돼.
Any question?
까마치도
We got 10 more minutes. Yes.
Itachi, so earlier I got a little confused about when you talked about part and partless. So you said that even reality or emptiness has parts, right?
Mm.
So I got confused a little bit there. So
Oh,
what
okay.
are some of the parts of
Emptiness?
emptiness?
Okay. 근데 그런 this is the 차도 차진 되지 시야와.
응.
그 동일의 차도 차진데 가다 샤워를 했어요. 띠라야 라서를 상게 유래 동이다. 하고 쉬래 동이.
분배된 게 동이지야래. 가외된 게 동이지. 최탐지의 때도 동이래야래. 예산에 최탐지의 땡게 동이도수 차셔리. 동이기 차셔리. 동이 그런 동이 있을 때 찌들어봐. 이 차셔리 분배된 거 유배동. 가외된 거 유배동. 다디 최진 그 차내려봐. 양르 도즈그 간에 차셔면 붙이야야. 로그 산제그 도베동이. 산제그 도자. 샘제그 마도베 동이. 다야 샘제그 바바남지 도베동이. 샘제 랑가르 도미니 베스지. 다디 다 시다야리.
So there are many parts of the emptiness of reality. For instance, the vase has one type of emptiness on it. This is actually part of the general kind of emptiness. And we have an emptiness for each and every single phenomena has emptiness. That's actually part of the general emptiness. And also that emptiness that's seen by Buddha and the emptiness that's seen by sentient beings, the two types of emptiness. This is also different emptiness, different than general sort of like. And then there are some emptiness that's seen by Buddha, but not sentient beings, and there's some emptiness seen by Arya, what's Arya? Arya being, Arya being, but then not seen by sentient beings.
When you said that a whole is not other than the parts and the parts are not other than the whole, that sounded very familiar to me in terms of the emptiness and form is emptiness, and I was wondering how those two ideas.
Oh, okay. Another 차디 차리신단 말이야. 차진의 차니 파주도 샤아지와 차디 다디 코란 말을 뒤워디 디레. 왜나 동바 쑥 동바 오스라와 동만이 이제 쑥 오스라 디르가 오래지래 됐어.
네, 다디 설제리 동 수디 동반이 제.
쑥 동반이 쑥 오스라.
다디 수디 동반이르바, 다디 동반이르바, 다다 두숙한 걸로 동반이 되기 차시의 설제리 들어와. 디르 설제리 되네. 다디 덴바투가 있나? 아니 덴바메베인데 차제 이메체르바. 차진디 차시를 뜨니 샤버바. 차진세야. 덴바투가 있는 강이야 뜨미지 거게. 아니 코디 차진세야디 차시를 뜨니 셴두가 제도 뚱이디 랑기 차시를 뜨니 샤버바. 그래서 덴바투가 있는 디 되게 말이스. 되버디 되게 말이스. 덴바메디 땡디 임베 치시게르바. Temba Tuba in around 2 minutes to Tuba. Shanga 2 minutes to Tuba Chikuya. Shanga 2 minutes to Tuba in Tombani Chashan Matuba Tuba. Chashan Matuba Tuba, Titu Maris, Coach Chatumata Jebri, Coach Chajin. Chajin said Chalatuni Sharia. Yan Chadi Chajin Tuni Sharia. Chajin said Yuzamba, Chasha Juvala Tuni Kurva. Yan Chasha said Chajin Ji Chane, and you could Chasha said Shariati, Chajin Juvala Tuni, and you Chajin said Chadajin said Shaku. How do you do? 다 덴바 동이 덴바 두고 있는 동이라 자제 팀마 자세 자제 팀마 자제 제가 팀마리 자두마도 제가 팀마리 자두마도 제가 시작이는 그 자제리 자제 인수는 자들을 들 그리 동이 차시에서 동립이 차시에서 되는 거 아니 그 동립이 차지를 두고 그 차지인데 거를 차를 때는 샤워로 차지
봉배동분이 봉발때 봉바대 봉바동분이 댄스
뒤에
so
제 봉배동이지 담바투가 있나 최진 봉발을 맞은 거 봉발때 그 봉배땡이 중요도 봉발을 땡데 돼야 땡 취지 봉발때면은 봉배땡이 중요한 양말 봉배땡이 중요디 땡 취지 봉발을 땡바라 땡바에서 그 라와도 좀 말이야 시원하지 봉발을 땡이 여러
So these two are yes, there is a similarity. So emptiness and the vase is empty, vase of sukma, so form. So form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Then emptiness of the form is form, or something like that. So that's very similar to whole. Whole is parts is whole. It goes like that. So because so the everything is dependent on rising. So that means the parts depends on whole, and whole depends on parts. So they depend on each other, dependence. Right? Similar like that, the form and the emptiness of the form, or the vase, or the emptiness of the vase, they depend on each other as well. So the emptiness of the forms depends on form, and form depends on emptiness of the forms. So they depend on each other. Otherwise, if it is not depend on each other, if it's a single, it's like a single or independent, so then that means that you cannot actually have this flexibility. So you can say like form is empty, empty is form, because they will be like two totally different entities. So you cannot be like mix this together.
I have one question. So in there, the appearing one way and being empty of existing that way of the.
Okay, I can't hear you.
We talked about that.
Come forward. You can't hear.
I cannot hear you. Sorry.
So earlier we spoke about two ways of differentiating the entities. Appearing one way and then being empty of existing that way. So I was thinking, so appearance itself would be an affliction at this point for an ignorant mind.
Nangzu de nezu ni yore se je ba. Ani ba nezu de shagang de kenda sha sen de nangzu de ni ni se je ba. Nangzu de sama ani nyamong re se do.
말이있어요. 남주다 내주니 세야디
Nangzu de nyamong re se.
말이 남주 세대 로레야 남주 잠바 그 간데스 지나가래서 야지 분바라부터 로는 간데 지나가래 분바코랑 내주문에 듣고 봐 간데지래스 분바티 로는 나 인도 간데 지나가래 분바티 로는 남지 되다 그랑 내주니부터 미팅 바리
일몽을 왜 이렇게
다 템바이나 나와나 시 그런 내주지 내고 템바다 다들 분바티 군주브라 군주 템바라 짐바라 제사 그 내주세야 돼 분바 그런 내단지 내단지 신다지네 능주 점바 신다지나 로는 능주 점바 내주도 미팅 받지 나서나 능주도 내주 미팅 받지
나와디 일몽을 왜 쓰고
나와디 뭐 말아 나니에디 쉐바제 나야디 가와디르 봐
가와 들어
내가 분바디 나야디 가 분바디리
나와디 유샤오래
아
유를 유진 나와디
유디 유진은 나게
나와디
자지 차지 자가 집에 차 네 딸이 신체 생내 딸이 신체부터 가르래
자와셔
자지기 레스는
자와지
자바로 지르
남세도 자와서를 줘요
어디리
Okay, so the appearance is not mental affliction. Okay, first of all, it's not mental affliction. Appearances means, appearance, we say like appearance and the mood of existence is two different things. They don't match. Because of that, then all things are called like conventional truth, right? Fact and so. Okay, now it said that the appearance is like action. Okay, so if someone cuts a wood with axe, right? So the cutting axe is an action, right? Similar like that, appearance is an action. Okay, let me just give an example. Like appearance is like action.
So we're talking about a view,
View.
rather than appearance subjectively, not objectively.
View. Can you say it again?
Like appearance in terms of subjectively, something appears in front of you.
And nowadays, like example, you money just now. That you don't see how we are basic.
나야디 유지샤우르와 낭서도 로제 유디 로는 나와 세네디 그 자와기 차지르 자와수르 자와기 차지르 빼는 딸이 신제가 세네 신제니 딸이제 제야디 신제 디제가 세디디 아니 진이 봐도 자와르 샤우르와 딜레시기야르와.
Okay, so let me say this. We have a mind here. There's an object to be appears, or like object that appears. Okay, so then the mind that perceives this object. There's kind of like action going on here, right? So this appearance is talking about this. So similar, like let me just give an example of like cutting a wood with axe, right? Cutting, the movement. It's like movement, cutting. It's like appearance.
Okay. Thank you.
딸이 신제부터 딸이 대 말이 신대 말이.
So the cutting is not the wood and not the axe.
제야티 딸이리 제야티 신리.
So yeah.
딸이 신제가 세네테 그 신대 말이 딸이 대 말이.
So that means like the wood is being cut, and then the axe is actually cutting the wood, but the cutting is not part of that. That's serious,
야,
serious.
다들.
Okay, we start here. 시백의 중심에도 장내가 민신인데 gem바디 산의 신령이 대우와니 저큰 남다시마 주가 수 라라니야다야.
장주 senjo
Rinpoche, Makipa, Makijochi, Deva, Nyamba, Neba, Kove, Shinkante, Pendam, Deva, Makijochi, Jene, Siva, Tenzin, Yatsoni, Shabi, Pandu, Tenguchi,
다기 진이 사베 겨와니 엔다 로와 군나
Kevara, Jochi, Mosan, Kaba,
땡뱅인 고린도 세지